Grand Rising. Why am I in such a good mood? I'm going to work. I don't know. Um, you are what you eat. We become what we behold. Um, collective mindset. Um, herd mentality. Um, there's just been something like really going to oneness. The illusion of separation. That I am Dick and that's Jane. Um, I'm a man and that's a woman. I'm a Caucasian and that's somebody who's ethnic. Um, I'm this religion and somebody else is that religion. All these divisive um, mechanisms that separate us and break us into smaller groups. Um, and as we know, um, many of us know, how do you control, guide, direct? You have smaller and smaller groups. A smaller group is easier to control and direct. So with division comes uh, an ease of control. And why would that be necessary? Why would that be necessary? And I'm considering. Um, ooh, ringing, ringing. Nice. Ooh, that's loud. Um, yeah, I got my earbuds in, but it's not my earbuds. Going to oneness, and we become what we behold. We are what we eat. Um, and all right, so fine. I'm unplugged, right? I don't watch TV or news or mainstream television. I've actually found within the last year or so, I don't even listen to the radio anymore, which is very odd for me because I enjoy music, but for some odd reason, the music on my car stereo, um, it doesn't sound right. I can't quite put my finger on it. And I don't mean it's like a bad stereo. It's a very good stereo, but something doesn't sound right. It seems like there's a different frequency, or instead of the music having a soothing or a soothing effect, it's actually caught. I don't. Something doesn't sound right. Something doesn't feel right about the frequency. Um, I'm considering my life, my experience, and oneness within myself. I create I create my own kingdom. And what do I allow into my kingdom? If I'm allowing, let's just say, let's use this as the example, if I'm allowing mainstream television and specifically mainstream media, the news, whether it be local news or worldwide news, nationwide, worldwide, um, when's the last time you heard good news? Consistently good news. It's always bad news: war, murder, death, um, abduction, pain, fear. And along with division, fear is a very useful tool to control the masses. You can have one guy in a prison. The image that I'm getting is, a prison. You can have one guard with a gun watching 1,000 inmates. Yeah, maybe not 1,000, but you follow. Whatever. Fear that one man can overpower because they have a gun. That they can overpower the masses, and it works. It works. I'm tired. tired is not the right word. I'm weary. I'm weary of the narrative. Um, I have come to a place uh, in my life. Good morning, um, jogger. They love this hill. I'm parked on a hill, and they love this hill because break a sweat. Um, but I'm weary of that narrative of fear. My life, my home, let's say, my kingdom, um, by removing certain aspects, I don't watch television anymore. I don't have clocks in my home. I have a phone, I have a job. I have to work, and I have doctor's appointments, places that I have, where time is necessary. Um, Time is necessary just for those types of reasons, but no television, no genuine sense of time, day, night. I don't have clocks, and the two that I have, one is on my little oven, and then one is on my stove, and I have a piece of tape over where the, certain other things, just once I removed these images or these ideas from my awareness, and I stopped consuming or becoming what I beheld. If you watch the news, you're going to think that the world is a scary, frightening, dangerous place. And I'm coming to much greater awareness and exponentially much more aware that the world is not a scary place. It's a wonderful, beautiful, um, majestic, just sublime. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I spend a little time out in the garden. I wash my hands. Ooh, there's a little bit of dirt under that fingernail still. I didn't get that. It's a wonderful, beautiful place. People and animals and nature and the ocean and the sky and the stars and the moon and dirt. We become what we behold, and if all we're witnessing is division, we divide. If all we're witnessing is violence, we become violent. Or, maybe not outwardly, but our mindset becomes violent. Um, and I'm finding that where I'm at now, it's odd. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's ironic. It's ironic because with that feeling or sense that I become what I behold, I'm thinking of the example, like, and the Amish, they have a barn raising, and the collective energy. I think this is a good elementary example of that. Um, the Amish have a barn raising, and everybody from the village, the collective, gather with the intention that they're going to raise a barn. And it's well known that people study the Amish and their way of working, and how efficient and how the quality of their work, how efficient it is, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a fine example of collective energy in a positive sense. Now, if you're proposing and enforcing a fear narrative, whatever the goal may be, population control, controlling the masses, um, um, assuaging fear or the possibility of an uprising with a stimulus check. Um, but going to that positive example of where the collective energy, you, me, like minded people, where we focus on achieving a task, whether it's in physical reality or a mindset, something ethereal. Um, I choose, for example, to view the world as a beautiful, majestic, sublime, um, mystical, magical, fantastic, energetic, whole, full place. Other people view it differently, and what coming to this perception, we get to the other side of the fence, and we suddenly realize, wow, the grass is greener. The grass is greener, viewing things from this perception, where the fear narrative has been removed, where those frequencies are no longer the predominant frequency. I'd much rather live here, and within, what can we do with this? What I don't just like sit around and create theory in my mind all day. I actually practice this. I project positivity and love and affection and beauty. As much as I'm able within my understanding, and there is an attraction because other people in my life, people that I would choose to call friends, and you know like-minded people, we come together. There's like a magnetic draw. Even within that, there's division, though, because let's just say you have people on this frequency and people on that. There's division there too. I feel like I simply feel like the narrative that we've been under for so long, prior to television, the narrative, government enforcement, um, you know, it's whatever. We've been under that illusion of separation, the illusion of division. How about we try the reality of oneness? Not that we're all robotic and thinking exactly the same. We have all of our own unique experiences, and we can draw off of that and share that energy. Um, but what that's my goal, man. That's my goal. That's my goal. Whether it be sharing my energy with human, another human, or an animal, or a plant, or putting my hands in the dirt, or going for a swim in the ocean, or getting my feet wet. I am weary of division. I am weary of this dominating, oppressive, the way, I'll use this as an example too. Um, with all the stuff that has happened over the last year, a lot of places, government buildings were closed. So my car, right, um, I wasn't able to register. Um, my license expired. All that stuff's open. I've taken care of it, but I got pulled over. Finally, I got pulled over. This was probably a month and a half ago. And I got pulled over, and he's like, "You are aware that all this stuff is open again?" And at that point, I was very honest and open with him. I'm like, "Yep, this is expired. I understand." But as he was standing right here outside my car, he made it was a very obvious stance. He had his gun on his right hip, and the way that he was standing was to make it very clear to me. He was like sticking that in my face on his hip, like I'm the authority figure. I've got a gun. I can overpower you. Yeah, you know, you could shoot me. You could, but the fact that he's a cop, he is a human just like me or you or anyone else with the same flaws and foibles. And the thing that he clearly was not prepared for my transparency when he pulled me over. Yep, my license is expired, my registration is expired, da 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 da, whatever. And he began, like, prior to him ma- changing his posture, I visually saw him. He was like, I could hear a quiver in his voice, and his hands were shaking as he was holding the license. He was scared as shit because he didn't know me. He didn't know, and I suppose I surprised him on some level that I was being so transparent. And as he like visually became seemingly fearful, he postured where his gun, he's like, meow, and his demeanor changed. That's oppression. That's oppression. That's, in my opinion, that's harassment. I'm in control because I have a gun. You know, this is the government. This is the government system that we're under. That, at least for the time being, at least for the moment. But when you propagate a fearful environment, we propagate. When you propagate the fearful environment, you propagate a need for a cop. You know, when people are acting out of fear, they're not thinking rationally. They're not thinking clearly. And when everything, we become what we behold, and when everything, we are what we eat, when we consume the fear narrative, and it's coming at it, the newspaper, the radio, the television, um, you see it everywhere. You see it everywhere. The world is a scary, frightening place. No, it's not. They're making it that way. Let's get together and make it a pleasant, happy, where the collective is actually happy, healthy, living full, rich lives and sharing with one another. If we can create that with the fear narrative, why can't we create something with a love narrative? You know what I mean? Little ramble before, and I still got 10 minutes before I have to go in and enjoy my coffee. Again, thanks, you guys. Anybody who has seen any of my recent shares, I lost my dog, Jake. I had to put him down, and it was very painful. But I'm at a point where and I've struggled. I definitely was questioning whether or not I had done the right thing. But as the last couple of weeks is, and I amalgamate all of those experiences leading up to, as his health was deteriorating, I remember this and I remember that, and how, ooh, and you know there's been a confirmation that, no, Scott, you did what was needed to be done. It was a mercy. It was out of love, and not based out of fear, or you know um, I genuinely it was a mercy to Jake to allow him to pass. um, Deeply painful. Deeply painful, but the support, and just, man, it's amazing. It's amazing. um, when somebody, a simple kind word, a simple kind word goes the distance. It lifts me, and it's given me a better understanding of my language with others, and a deeper, richer, fuller understanding of how we express ourselves to one another, and very grateful for your presence here. And I'm going to leave, as always, I'll leave my email in the share, and I offer you a peace that surpasses all understanding. And have a wonderful day. I'm out. Later.